Now I know you're recording. Does that mean mine is recording? Or is that? Mine is saying it's recording, so we're going to go with that.
Noise.
Okay. And to the viewers who are watching, my name is Diana Hernandez, Adaptive Journalism with your girl, Diana Hernandez. And with me today is Wildred Brown. He was previously on an interview with one of my last stories, AI, a new frontier for digital marketing. And I want to follow up and see how has the landscape shifted any? How is he leveraging AI with his clients, and just kind of follow up and just kind of get a feel on what is the industry looking like. So, Wildred, thank you for hopping back on. How are you?
I am great. I am amazing to be with the GOAT of AI herself. I'm just thankful and grateful for this opportunity to be a guest. Once again, it's always a pleasure talking to a fellow AI GOAT in the AI space. So I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Now, thank you for that. That was really nice. In the article, AI, a new frontier for digital marketing, you mentioned using AI for your second or as your second brain for social media
Mhm.
and digital marketing. Could you provide specific examples on how you are using AI right now as your second brain?
So what I've tried to get into a habit of doing this, and I advise like everybody to do this as well, because like with this new technology, it's kind of like fresh and new to everybody. So like, we see headlines about like, Chat GPT this, Chat GPT that, but I actually do like polls on my channel and on my page just to get like actual awareness for people that are actually using it. And it's actually like kind of surprising. But what I use ChatGPT for every single day is I use it to research like the current news in the AI space. I think last time I was on the interview, I was talking about Google Bard, and Google Bard is still it's pretty cool, but ChatGPT definitely I feel like it's still the king. For example, like ChatGPT, like the plugins feature has been like super crazy and amazing. You can access like real-time information to the internet. So like what I do now, like as far as like using ChatGPT is like my second brain. I'm literally using it to start off any like project that I want to do. So if I'm writing a blog post for my website, next is the AI Hub. I'm giving me a blog post about how AI is going to affect finance and businesses. And, I look at the blog post, it gives it to me. And I don't just copy and paste it from ChatGPT. I feel like that's what a lot of people do. And no, you never should be just copying and pasting. You need to be using these AI platforms as a start and then use your creativity, add your little touches, add your little spin on it and whatnot. So that's just one of the things that I'm using AI for currently, just having it as like a creative partner to like my current workflow that I have currently going on.
And how has AI enhanced your ability to create content for digital marketing?
Man, I just wish I found out about AI like 10 years ago, man. Like, where was AI then? Like, because like just the stuff that it can do. And like I said, we talked about this on my podcast and on your episode. I'm still shocked that people still aren't using this technology, like because when I got my hands on it, like I said before, like I feel like I had my first kid, like when I see my first prompt, just go and just do what it does. So I'm using it literally like every day, using it every day to start off, my blogs, start off like my posts, give me like unique ideas, give me like head. So for example, I'm here to give out gems, exclusively for, Diana and her listeners. Like I'm literally using it to give me, I asked ChatGPT, give me 10 viral headline ideas for digital marketing. And based on those 10 headlines, I pick a few of them and I combine and pick from like each one. So it's not, strictly from ChatGPT, but it's like creatively like seeing what it gives you and say, okay, like how can I add my little touch onto whatever it is? So that's what I've been using it for like daily.
And as a digital marketing consultant, how has that enhanced your ability to work with your clients?
I mean, it has helped out so much because like stuff like this used to take me and like my team so much time to just get a start, just brainstorming as far as like the creative route. Um, but with me, like I literally use ChatGPT to start off, some of my emails. I'm using like people don't know this, but I'm using ChatGPT to respond to some of my comments, some of my messages, and I feel like this is where the world is going to be headed. Like right now we're in the early stages, like me and you have discussed, but I feel like eventually down the road, once Apple incorporates AI into, whatever they're doing, and Google incorporates AI into like Gmail and stuff like that, I feel like everybody is going to be using this because at this point, it's like, why not?
Do you teach your clients how to leverage AI as well? Do you have a toolkit per se?
Yeah. So, like, and this as well, like with AI, there's something like happening every single day. Like, every single day, there's a new tool, there's a new strategy, there's new this, there's new that. So, like, what I try to do is like, there's this website called futuretools.io, right? So for anybody starting off in AI, if you're feeling like overwhelmed with all the new tools and just all the stuff that's like going on, like futuretools.io literally has a list of every single AI tool that's coming out. And it categorizes it. So as far as like digital marketing, it'll have like digital marketing AI tools for like artists. It'll have like, painting AI tools. They even have like a meme section. So if you were interested about like AI and memes, you can literally go there and do stuff like that. So that is using that has definitely been like a game changer. Just going in and typing and seeing like, okay, what kind of AI tool do I need? Because like when I first started in the AI space, I was literally like on social media every day hearing about a new AI tool, and I had like my notepad and I would like write down the website. So it's like great to see now that there are websites that have all these AI tools versus just trying to like find them separately and just having your head all over the place.
Mhm. In your experience, what are some challenges or limitations you have encountered in the past month when using AI?
So I feel like for a lot of people that's using AI for the first time, I highly recommend that you guys like really like, yes, ChatGPT, yes, Google Bard and all these AI tools, they're great, but they have the tendency in what we call it in the AI space to hallucinate information. And it's kind of interesting that you asked me this because like the other day I was asking ChatGPT, I think it was a question about history. And right before I can fill in like the next question I was going to ask it, ChatGPT apologized to me. It was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke on this information because this actually didn't happen, but here's what actually happened." So I was like, shocked, like when I seen like it actually like gave me, different information based on what I prompted earlier. But we're still in the early stages of AI. So what I recommend everybody to do, like with ChatGPT, Google Bard, like even though it gives you something, it doesn't take you that much time to, you know, do some research, make sure this is good, like do another search. Like I try to at least do like 3 searches when I'm looking up one thing just so I can get closer to the source of what's actually like true information. So
Yeah.
I definitely recommend everybody to look. We can't super rely on these tools just yet. Let's use them as a starting point and let's get creative and like just finish the work.
Now, have you heard about Darkbert? Now, this is the dark web version of ChatGPT. I'm curious.
Um, I've heard of it, and I've also heard of I guess have you heard of Dan? uh
No.
the version of ChatGPT where I guess it's unfiltered and you can ask it anything. I've heard of those, but I tend not to try to like, tier, to that direction because like my mind can really go in that direction because like I'm just curious and I'm a learner, especially after watching stuff like Black Mirror. I don't know if you watch Black Mirror or whatnot, but they definitely deal with those kind of concepts. So like for me, I'm just like, you know what? Let me just stay, where I am, teaching people the best things because if yeah, like you said, with the black web, dark web, there's a lot of stuff, and just to incorporate AI into that, I'm just like, no, like I just want to stay on the good side. We already got people thinking the Terminator is about to show up at any moment now, so I just try to stay away from like any of like the dark side of AI.
Yes. And do you think with the rapid advancements that you mentioned that you don't think that it's going to like jeopardize jobs per se, because humans still need to, it's not perfected at all. But in your opinion, with how it's accelerating, can you put like a time on where, yeah, this is now something that could be a possibility?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because I was just reading up an article before we started streaming, but Europe is actually the first country to take the lead as far as like AI regulation. And just one of the key takeaways that I've seen from it is that they want to pretty much put like a watermark or like try to get us to understand like what's written by ChatGPT, what's a mid-journey image, what's an AI generated image, so like they're are kind of leading the way for I think what we will see here soon in the US whenever, we, can figure out, this part of it because there's already so much going on in the world. But I really do think, and Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, he's pushing forward regulation for AI as well. So I just think, like, as a society, like, especially for the powers above, we do need to get a hold of this because, like, I feel like people like you and I and the audience and the people watching or listening, we're using it for small everyday tasks or, big everyday tasks. But the people that actually harness this technology and like have really got into this, they obviously see the things that we don't see. So I do think we need some kind of regulation at some point because we only know what we know. And if Elon Musk and Sam Altman and all these people are saying like, yo, let's slow this AI thing down, like I got no choice but to trust what they're saying. So
And how do you balance using AI tools with your own human creativity when creating?
man, so like for me, I'm a naturally creative person, and I kind of try to like balance like, okay, I want to be more efficient, but I want to be creative at the same time. So like for me, like with my new book that I'm writing, it's called What is AI? It's pretty much explaining AI in different kind of industries and whatnot. And I would be a fool not to use AI to write this book. Like, am I gonna go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, write me a whole book? No, but I'm going to use it to assist me in my vision and what I would like the book to see. So, like for me, like, and I advise everybody listening to do stuff like this, like use ChatGPT as a starting point and just add your touches, your personal like element, your flavor, like just you have to like stop being in the fear. Like what people should fear is getting left behind because like this generation needs to learn about this. This reminds me of like the dot-com era, like when everybody said the internet was going to be a fad and everybody was still like reading newspapers and like, no, the internet's a scam. Like this literally reminds me of like that era. So I'm honestly using it like every single day, and I honestly try to challenge myself every day to use it in a way that I haven't used it before.
And what are some ethical considerations that when that arise when using AI in digital marketing, and how do you address that and still work through that?
So what I like to tell my clients all the time is that when I'm doing AI consulting is, do you want your information to be on these websites like Google Bard and ChatGPT? That's where we first start, because at the end of the day, ChatGPT, Google Bard, whoever makes the next AI chatbot, they're gonna be biased based on who created the AI chatbots, right? So what I try to get my clients and just people that are using AI to understand is that you have to be careful of the data that you are submitting into it, right? Like even for me, I don't put too much of my personal life. Like I hope AI doesn't know that I'm rocking like the blazer and the fly hat. Who knows? Hey, we don't know. But I try to like warn people and tell people like, yes, we're in the early stages. And even though like, we see OpenAI saying like, oh, your data is being used for this, Google Bar saying your data is being used for that. You truly never know. So when working, especially in the consulting space, we always have to be careful of just the type of information that we're sending into these platforms.
Now it comes into the question, who owns the information? So if
Exactly.
you used ChatGPT extensively, do you really own that content, or does
Hmm.
ChatGPT own that content?
Exactly.
So that is a very gray line, and that it has not been addressed clearly. I know that copyright is they have pushed out some people like, no, we're not going to accept this because it was extensively written by AI. But they do allow, like, if a person put in extensive work but was aided with AI, then they allow
Hmm.
that because the majority of that was human made. But
Yeah.
I know that that's up in the air too. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
and how do you see the role of AI evolving in the field of digital marketing and in the coming years?
Um, it's kind of sad to say this, and I'm saying this as a digital marketing consultant and just AI consultant. Like, I, I think, like, I feel like all my digital marketers just need to get prepared because AI is like pretty much it's not doing my job, but it is making my job a lot easier. And it's only going to get better and better over time. And if you're in digital marketing and you're not using AI, you're just a fool at this point. I don't mean to say the F word, but you're just a fool. Like, you have to like use like stuff like this because as a digital marketer, the one thing that you want to do, especially if you're dealing with a lot of clients, you want to save the amount of time you can get to the result for your client. So for me as a digital marketer, just the stuff that I'm doing with AI, like creating blog posts, creating YouTube videos, creating scripts, creating whole marketing campaigns and stuff like that. This stuff used to take like weeks and like, months to do from different like minds and whatnot. But to be able to do it in less than like a minute, 30 seconds, like this is game changing. So um while I don't think AI will replace people's jobs, we've talked about this before. I think the people that know how to use these AI softwares and these platforms, they will replace the people that don't. So like I said, I'm using AI every day. People can complain and talk about the Terminator and just being in fear, but I'm actively using this every day to save time, become more productive. And I advise everybody watching this, like, stop using ChatGPT for jokes. I did a poll on my channel the other day, um, and I asked people what they're using ChatGPT for. I asked them, was it for entertainment, for work, for learning, and not at all. And you will be surprised, like, the biggest percentage, I think 40% of people said they weren't using it at all. And it was like 17% each was like, 30% was for entertainment and 17% was for learning. So like I'm doing tests like these and like polls just to see like where is the world like currently with ChatGPT. And currently a lot of people think it's just a fad, but as a digital marketer, this is something that I'm using each and every day for me, my clients, and just for learning and any other purpose. I'm using it for recipes. I'm using it to book flights. Like there's just so many things that you can do with this technology. So you gotta get on the bandwagon with me and Diana at this point.
Now, as a founder of Nexus Consulting, if I were to come to you as a client and say, hey, can you help me? I don't know where to start and how to start integrating AI into my business. How would
Mhm.
you guide me?
So first thing first is what I like to do is I like to ask my clients like, what is your specific goal, right? What is your intention for this meeting? Because like I feel like a lot of people, well, in my experience, they come and they don't have a clear direction on what they want to do, and it's pretty general. And that's okay, but like what you need to know is like what is your end result? right? My job is not to like completely like teach you how to like, integrate it like from A to B. My job is to like give you ideas and strategy to get to wherever it is that you want to be. So let's say if, you came to me and said, "Hey, I want to help promote my blog." My blog is about planting gardens and being more and more with nature, right? What we would do is we would talk about like, okay, what kind of platform do you want to use? Do you want to write and be on Twitter? Do you want to be on video and be on YouTube and TikTok? Like, what is the goal? And then from there, we will create a step-by-step plan based on the time and availability that you have. And like, just keep it really custom and just tailor to like whatever your needs are.
So it's after figuring out the plan is then you figure out the tools.
hmm
Oh, yeah.
Because honestly, what a lot of people come to me, like, they don't even understand how to like work ChatGPT, right? Because I don't know if you've dealt with this as well, but ChatGPT, it's not really, you don't go to it and know exactly what to do, right? You have to have some kind of knowledge. You have to have something to know to go in and prompt me this, right? Because like just looking at ChatGPT for the first time, you're probably like, what the hell is this? Like, what the hell am I supposed to do? So like we honestly start there is what is ChatGPT? What can ChatGPT do? And I have my clients literally type their first prompts, and like I love just sitting back and just seeing like the magic just happen, like and just seeing their minds getting blown for like the first time. That's honestly like my joy, when I'm working with clients. So because my mind was blown for the first time. And if I could have got that on footage and seen that, like that would be like a viral moment. But I get to see it every day with my clients. I'm just happy to be that person that's showing them this powerful technology. So
Now, are there any specific digital marketing AI tools that you feel are game changers? And can you name some examples and then talk a little bit about them?
yeah, so I was using Copy AI for a while. Copy AI is pretty much it's like ChatGPT, but it's more for copywriters and like for digital marketers. It gives you that like copy that you like usually see on like social media and whatnot. And there's ways to do it in ChatGPT, but what I've really been like just like I'm honestly like I think I'm addicted to like the mind blowing moments like with ChatGPT because like using ChatGPT for the first time was like, but now like as you probably know as well, like ChatGPT has plugins, and like there are so many different plugins. Like I think they're just dropping them like each and every day. But I'm honestly using like the ChatGPT plugin. So like for instance, there's a plugin that enables Google search. So you can enable Google search and shot inside of ChatGPT and search up anything. There's a plugin that allows you to summarize videos. There's a plugin that allows you to summarize links of like a website. You can pull anything from any website, summarize it, make a blog post about it, get the best highlights from it. So I'm honestly been like pivoting from using these other tools like Copy AI. Sorry, Copy AI, cut the check. But I've honestly been using ChatGPT plugins like just for everything because like I feel like their whole plugin feature just literally changed the game again. And there's so many plugins to like go through and explore. And the combinations you can do with these plugins, I'm getting like mind blowing moments like each and every time I'm learning how to use them.
So how do you stay up to date? Where do you go to keep up with all the AI trends?
So one of the first things that I do in the morning, and literally everybody can do this as well. It's literally not that hard. You're probably using Google anyway, so use it the right way. But literally what I do is I wake up in the morning, I go to Google, I type in AI news, look at the AI news, see what's happening, like, do the filters recent, an hour ago, 2 days, just to catch up on the best news. So I have a fresh perspective on just what's going on in AI space. So that's literally something that everybody can use. Twitter is a big space for AI. I follow a lot of different Twitter influencers. Where's another AI source? Facebook. You've been showing me on Facebook recently. I didn't know Facebook had a like an AI space like that. But just you guys gotta stick with Diana. She be sending me these gems every day. I'm like, oh. So I mean, I guess Facebook is a place as well. But literally, what I do is I just start on Google and just type in AI news. Like, and anybody can do that. You don't need to be tech savvy, I don't think, to do that. So.
Awesome. So if you can let me know anything that you have or you're working on or you're looking forward to that has to do with AI.
Yeah, so to free up a lot of my time, just because I know I can help so many people, I'm consulting clients as we speak. I created a AI masterclass series, pretty much showing people all the things that I've learned. Um, for those who don't know, I've spent the last half of the year in the AI space, just learning all the things that I know currently thus far. And I just wanted to save people the amount of like hours and time and even the mistakes that I had to go through. And I just wanted to bundle it up in a little, 10 video series and just really catching you up to speed on just some of the most powerful things that you can do with AI. Because I'm fortunate to have met, somebody like Diana the GOAT, keeping me plugged in with all the stuff that's going on. But I know for majority of the world, like that's not happening. A lot of people, like by the time even hearing this like interview, they're still not even using ChatGPT. They're still just like, man. So I made this series to help that beginner that doesn't know what's going on, try to get to where we are in the AI space and just save you all the time. Other than that, I'm posting content on my blog, nexus2aihub.com. I'm on YouTube. I'm everywhere. So you can find me, if you're really trying to get ahead with AI, and I just want to help everybody get ahead because speaking from experience, like I said, being a digital marketer and just doing all this stuff manually, I'm speaking from my own experience and just saying like how much time and how much productive you can be with AI. Like, don't be afraid. Like, James Cameron, I love what he did with all these movies, but I don't know what the hell people seen when they saw Terminator. I thought Terminator was a great movie, but he got people like really scared to log into ChatGPT. So I'm trying to help undo what James Cameron did and really help people get ahead with just everything that's going on in the AI space.
Very well put and said. And that's all I have for today. Thank you so much, Waldrip, for hopping on for a follow-up story. You are doing so much in the AI space and digital marketing consulting. So Nexus Consulting, that is where you can find Waldrip, and that is where you'll be able to find his social plugins. So thank you so much. And I will follow up with you and just kind of see how the AI evolution is evolving Nexus Consulting as well. Thank you, Waldrip.
Thank you so much, Diana, for having me once again. Shout out to the GOAT.
And now I'm going to, I think you're the one that had the power with the recording.